Reviewing the policies behind getting into one of the top colleges in the country. The Supreme Court is asking the Justice Department to weigh in on a legal challenge to Harvard University's consideration of race in undergraduate student admissions. Here now to talk about this is Bill Bennett, former Education Secretary and a Fox contributor. Bill, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
So the Supreme Court has asked the administration to weigh in, to give some details, the Justice Department to give details. As we know, Harvard University, as the Trump administration said, has been practicing discrimination, let's be clear about it, for a very, very long time. The question is, can they be stopped? What do you think?
It may be stopped. We'll see what happens with this Supreme Court. This has been going on for a very long time. I saw it with my own eyes in the late 60s, early 70s at Harvard. And I can tell you a story about that and the pernicious consequences of these policies. But, you know, in 2003, Supreme Court in the Grutter case and the Bollinger case, in the elite opinion by Justice O'Connor, she said, these practices we'll have for a while. They'll end in 25 years. That was 2003, so that's 18 years. Maybe they'll end in 7. It was an admission of what everybody knows, that this isn't right. It isn't right to award places, whether you're talking about farmers or your places in a university on the basis of race. And there are other ways to achieve, if you will, a kind of opportunity society of diversity that do not count by race. Some places have said, well, let's look at individual circumstances rather than race. My alma mater, way back in the 60s, said we're going to take 10% of our students. Their scores may not be that high, but based on their circumstances and their work ethic and how they prove themselves as human beings, their character, we're going to bet on them. That's a better way to do it. Color was not part of it. Color is not a way to count people. And the more we emphasize color, the more divided we become, which is what's going on in our schools as well. Sorry to be so long-winded.
No. That's a fascinating story. But Bill, Harvard is the target, is in the crosshairs of this lawsuit. But it goes on. It's not just Harvard, is it? It's not just Ivy League. It's not just top university. It goes on in so many, especially private, public universities, subject to different rules. But it goes on in so many universities, so many colleges, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And, one of the things that happens is people become suspicious about the credentials of the people who get in on these programs. Right. You can see that. I remember a Larry David show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, the comedy show. He meets somebody and he's introduced as a doctor, black man. And Larry says, oh, are you one of those people who got in on that program? I'm not sure I'm going to you. Right. This is not what you want in a society. You want confidence. And these kinds of things just bring out the wrong impulses and raise the wrong suspicions. And like I said, there's a better way to do it.
Right. As you say, focusing on independent circumstances, economic circumstances, whatever. Bill, you can't see it, I don't think.
Individual circumstances.
We just pulled up and I just want to bring it up again if we can, if the producer can bring it up again. You can't see it, but it's some remarkable statistics that have come out in this lawsuit. It shows, Bill, that the academic decile for Asian Americans, the top academic decile for Asian Americans, the admission rate for Asian Americans that's the top 10% of Asian Americans is 12.7%. For African Americans, it's 56%. The fourth decile, which is just for clarification, people in the 30 to 40% range. African Americans are getting in. 12.8% of those in that range are getting in. That's a higher rate than the top Asian Americans are applying. So, again, I completely agree with you. I think we all understand, of course, special measures should be taken, attention should be given to those who are disadvantaged. But the degree of discrimination, particularly against Asian Americans, is pretty shocking, isn't it?
It is shocking. You're seeing a ratio of 4 to 5 times the factors here, a multiple of 4 to 5. And, when you count by race, you end up, as I saw at Harvard, with sons and daughters of diplomats, of successful lawyers, doctors who happen to be black, getting in before white students who are the sons and daughters of police officers and waiters and waitresses. Right. And again, that misses the moral point, which is supposedly implicit in all this. Also a question, what happens happens to these students when they get to these colleges. I saw it at Harvard. They get into these programs and they are forced or pushed or pressured into ethnic studies, as opposed to some of the, if you will, more real disciplines.
Which would serve them much better. Secretary Bill Bennett, thanks very much indeed for joining us.
You bet.